all the free.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 108 of Two Dudes of Sports News. As always, my name is Garrett, and I'm here with my co-host.
What it do? This shit in prison. When I tell you we've been busy, it's that time of year, and
we've
it's
been
one
busy.
this is one of my favorite times of the year.
And it's everybody's favorite. This is sports Christmas. This is the best. This is like sports Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, sports Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever rolled into one. This is amazing.
All in one. Dog, here's the thing that makes it more crazy.
This is the best time. I don't care about Four Nations tournament. I don't care about NBA finals. I don't care about Super Bowl. I do care about Super Bowl. I don't care about college.
I care about
playoff.
I care about
March
I care about
Madness is it.
I care about NBA playoffs just about a tad bit. Once we get into April,
little bit.
Dog, here's the thing.
I will say, Heavy, what did I tell you? I told you I would see you in the finals, and it looks like the Lakers and Celtics are. It might be possible. We'll see.
It really might over be. OKC. Look, we'll get in that. Yeah. We'll get in that another time.
Yeah, that's a different episode day. We got a quick one today, so we got to run through this real quick. I know we're going to try to squeeze out 2 episodes this week. We're going to try to squeeze out one as March Madness starts. If you haven't already, go follow us on Twitter at TDSN Pod on Twitter because that's where we have posted the link for our March Madness bracket. Get it in. It's for bragging rights. It's not for any money. I don't have the time or patience to handle y'all's money for a week. It's for bragging rights and maybe a trophy if I feel like it. If we get enough people who want one, I'll buy a trophy. We'll keep it easy. We'll figure something out. It'll be simple. It ain't leaving Savannah, I'll tell you that. It might. I don't know. But we got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk mostly free agency today. We're going to talk a little bit of March Madness.
Yo, you want to talk about madness? Like, I'm thinking that March Madness, the NCAA tournament is madness. No, the NFL said, let me remind y'all why I'm king.
NFL said, hold my beer. And there's been some crazy things happening with free agency, and we wanted to do it at the start, but I thought it'd be best for us to wait. And I'm kind of glad we did because as of today, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins have solidified the fact that the Bengals will be refusing to play defense this year. Shout out Jamar and T for getting your contract. That now means to me that he's earned it. Absolutely. And I'm not criticizing anybody getting paid. If someone was to write you a check that big, go get it. I'm not mad at anybody for doing it. D-Hop is with the Ravens where we all thought he was going to end up being a couple years ago. There's been some crazy signings and there's been some under the radar signings. There's been some crazy trades. There's been all kinds of things that have been happening.
Believe me, I would know.
I'm going to get into that in a minute. But we're going to get there. Don't you worry. I'm all decked out my Georgia Southern gear today. And I want to get into a little bit of something before I get too far. Here's how I'm going to how do I put this? I don't want to say eloquently or delicately, but here's how I want to put this. To me, and I try to stress this to people, free agency is there for 2 reasons, in my opinion, because I'm seeing a lot of this. Free agency is there to fill gaps in your team if you are 1 or 2 players away from being a contender, or it's to raise the overall floor of your team. And I'm tired of people acting like every single signing is going to bring them to a Super Bowl unless you're one of those teams that's already in the perennial playoff contender. Great. That's what free agency is for you. But for teams like what my Jags have been doing, like what Carolina's been doing, like what a lot of other teams are doing is this free agency signings. Vikings too. All they're doing is building up they're raising their floor so that you can inevitably have a situation to where you build through the draft because those vets aren't going to be there forever. Those vets are there to hold down the fort and potentially train the next generation. That's how I look at free agency. Free agency is used to raise your floor and also to bring in 1 or 2 pieces if you're 1 or 2 pieces away from staying in playoff contention. That being said, there's been some crazy things that have been happening in free agency. There's been some crazy trades. So we're going to do something that I want to do. This was kind of my idea. We're going to do what is the biggest steal, the biggest reach, and the biggest headline that had you going, what?
That was going to be tough. Like
There's a lot.
Give me your steal.
My biggest steal, I'm trying not to be the homer here, I'm really not. But I like the De'Ami Brown signing a lot. I like that one a lot. I also like the deal that the Broncos got for Evan Ingram a lot. I think those are probably my top two. Um, Mekhi Becton too. Yeah, Mekhi Becton might be a steal too. That's a good trade or a good signing. Sorry, I'm not mad at that at all.
Who got Makai? Who got Beckton?
Chargers.
Okay,
Chargers
yeah.
got Mekhi, which I think is good for them. But those are probably my biggest three steals. I think De'Ami Brown solely because he could be a player that is. I mean, and I've had to explain this to some people before. With De'Ami Brown, the jury's still out on the kid. I say kid, he's not a kid, but y'all know what I mean. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but to me, De'Ami Brown was buried on a talented Washington depth chart, very deep Washington receiver depth chart. He came on towards the end of the year. He got a 1 year, $10 million prove it deal. I'm interested to see how this plays out. As for Mekhi Becton, he's crashing in on a great year. And then, oh, my brain just shut down. And then Evan Ingram's Evan Ingram. If Evan Ingram can be the same Evan Ingram he was for us, he's a huge benefit to Bo Nix over there in Denver, who I might owe somewhat of an apology to.
The biggest steal to me, uh, man, I don't know. There was so much stuff that's happened. That's happened this off season.
It's
It's
been
hard.
a lot.
It's been a lot without question. And we ain't got enough time. We ain't got enough time to wait. I'm just trying to go. I'm trying to see all of.
We can't go through. Yeah, we can't go through all of
I
it.
guess off the top of my. I guess off the top of my head, I think the biggest. I say the biggest steal to me would have to be Aziz Ojulari, the former edge rusher for
That's a good one. That's a
The
good point.
Giants, going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Aziz is a good one. That's a good point.
Because we know what Philadelphia's culture is right now, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. Aziz ain't got to do a whole lot. He just got to continue to develop and work, and that's just another Georgia Bulldog that's going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So he could probably have like his career season with the Eagles, especially since they let Josh Sweat go, and they let Milton Williams go. So there's a lot of things that transpired where you would think that it possibly could work out. Another steal, I would say I would have to go Jonathan Allen going to the Vikings. The
That's a
Vikings
good
have
one
made
too.
some really good. To me, I felt like the Vikings have made some really good moves.
There's been a lot of underrated remove or under. Good lord, I can't talk today. Underrated moves. There we go. Can't speak today. There's been a lot of underrated moves as free agency. I completely agree.
Like when I look at Minnesota, dog, they got Ryan Kelly, they got Will Fries, you add
That's a
you
good
added
signing
Javon
too.
Hargraves, you added Jonathan Allen, and correct me if I'm wrong. Flores is still the DC over there, correct?
Yes, B Flow is still the DC.
So you give B Flow second year Dallas Turner. I think you still got I think you still got Daniil Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you give him a Jonathan Allen with the Javon Hargraves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Minnesota's defense can be very, very lethal right now.
Well, it's B Flow. B Flow is great at making the best out of what he can with defenses, but I think
Yep.
there's definitely been a lot of big steals and underrated signings in this class.
Yep.
What about biggest reach?
Uh, Biggest
That
reach.
I have mine.
I'm gonna go my Seahawks. I gotta go Sam Darnold. The reason being, you trade DK, Tyler Lockett. We knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have an offensive line that's still not there. Are we gonna put the money and effort into it? Well, we're trying to.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see how the draft goes. We got to see how the rest of free agency goes, and we got to see how like Clint Kubiak's system is gonna flow. But you bring in Cooper Cup, who was a surprise to me, because I didn't think we was gonna get him. You still got Jackson Smith and Jake Bobo. He can still play some. We still got Noah Fant and AJ Barner. So we should be straight. But like the biggest reach, I would say more of a risk than it is a reach, but it possibly could be a reach. It'll have to be Sam Darnold to me, even though we didn't have to give him a ton of, we did not give him that much of money.
No, and I want to stress that too. There's a lot of these big contracts and everything, and as someone who likes the contract side of things, this is the only math I'm good at. Uh, what I like about the contract side of things, APY and actual like average per year versus actual guaranteed money are two very different things. Because if the contract's $100 million, but only 50 million of it's guaranteed, that's a $50 million contract. That's spread out. That's also incentives and bonuses and all kinds of things that are built into it. That's totally different. That's not the same thing. So
Yep.
it looks bad on the headline when in reality, if you look at the actual breakdown, it's not that bad. I haven't looked at Darnold's contract yet, but I don't think it's as terrible as it seems on paper. The worst contract I have seen, Tennessee Titans doing Titans things. Dan Moore, the new Titans starting tackle, they gave that man, and I kid you not, 4 years, $82 million with $50 million guaranteed. So it's a little over $15 million, or a little over $12 million a year, sort of cap hit type situation, 50 million guaranteed. The man, I understand PFF is not the end all be all. This man is the definition of mid. He is overall grade for PFF 67.2. 46 out of 141 tackles. 65th for pass blocking, 67th for run blocking. Overall snaps, he was fourth in the league, 5 credited penalties, 12 sacks allowed. So the Titans are going to give this man $80 million a year when he gave up more sacks than any other tackle in the league. That's wild to me. That's the Titans being the Titans.
To go along, Sam Darnold's contract is 3 year, is a 3 year, $100.5 million contract.
What's guaranteed?
As far as the guaranteed goes, let me see. 55 mil.
See, that's not that bad. 3 year 55 isn't that bad. Because now you're looking at about 15 a year,
Yep.
roughly. So that's not bad. When you look at it that way, you're about less than $15 million per year. Not terrible, if I'm doing my math right, which is very possible I'm not. But anyways, the
I
biggest
trust
head
your
scratch.
contract math more than I trust mine.
Fair enough. The biggest head scratching moment for you, because I have mine.
Ooh. Steelers and DK.
I had a feeling you were going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. And the reason why I'm not going to go there
I
is,
got a feeling I know where you about to go.
where do you think I'm going?
You're going to New York.
No, I'm not going to New York. Here's
Okay.
where I'm going. I am going in the division, and I'm not talking about the Bengals deciding that they're not going to play defense this year.
You're talking about the Colts.
I'm not talking about the Colts. I'm talking about the fact that the Titans have given away Texans. Sorry, not the Titans. Texans have given away not only Laramie Tunsil, but Kenyon Green.
Yeah.
They have given away their two bright spots on the offensive line.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, I need to. I don't know the PFF grade off the top of my head, but whatever. Let's see if I can pull this up. Hang on. If I can pull this up real quick, Laramie Tunsil, because again, PFF is not the end all be all, but I am curious to see what his PFF grade is this past year. Because now he's on Washington. But last year, Laramie Tunsil's PFF grade, and one of the biggest weak spots and the reasons why the Texans lost games last year was because they couldn't protect CJ.
That's true.
So
they allowed 52 sacks last year.
Why are you getting rid of arguably overall PFF grade of 23 or 76.5, 23 at 141 tackles, 4th in pass blocking, 25th in run blocking? Gave up only 2 sacks last year. So that's Laramie Tunsil. And then it was Kenyon Green. They traded him away, which blows my mind. The two arguably only bright spot, they traded him to Philly.
Yeah.
Because Philly needed help on the O-line.
Well, you decided not to bring back Makai. And I thought they were going to bring back Makai.
Kenyon I might get. Kenyon apparently had a garbage year last year, so
Yeah,
I
he
might I
did,
might
but
agree with
like
you on that one.
Tunzel didn't. He had a eight.
Giving away Tunsil is crazy.
PFF had him graded 89.1.
Yep. Okay. So I apologize to the Texans fans who may or may not be listening with Kenyon Green. Also, I can't believe
But Tunzel,
I'm with Kenyon Green with
no,
Tunsil.
no, no. I'm
No,
talking
what are you
about with
doing?
Tunzel. Like you sent him to Washington. That means like Washington got beefed up.
Mhm.
Like they're winners.
I don't understand giving away one of the only bright spots in your entire offensive line. You might as well put a thing of what is it? The blocking sleds. Put a couple blocking sleds out there to block for CJ at this point. Y'all are literally about to Derek Carr this man. Or David Carr, not Derek Carr. Sorry. Good. I can't speak today. Y'all are about to David Carr this man. Again, we watched it happen when y'all were a team the first time. Y'all are drafted. Now I know exactly what they're doing in the draft because they're going heavy offensive line of the draft because they don't have an offensive line already. That or CJ is going to be building sandcastles in that backfield all day. they can't protect him.
Or at least giving him something that he can carry his laundry in, all the sacks that he's about to get.
It's crazy. That's the one that blows my mind the most is them getting rid of their star left tackle.
To me, I think the biggest what is either Daniel Jones going to the Colts or Justin Fields going to the Jets.
I'm not mad at Fields to the Jets.
With the Jets, it's just like it's gonna be interesting to see. Also, the Steelers just need to go ahead and sign Russell Wilson, bring him back compared to Aaron Rodgers. And here's okay, this hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to speak it into existence. The prophecy is going to be fulfilled.
Sorry, they also got rid of Shaq Mason. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about
the Texans.
Yeah. I believe the prophecy is going to be fulfilled.
And what is that prophecy?
Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings.
That would be.
I believe the prophecy is going to be
hilarious.
It's going to be fulfilled.
And would make that man such an unserious person, which he already is.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But which he could care less about, I would assume. But from what I'm reading and what all the headlines are saying and what every insider that I or semi-insider has been saying, Vikings are more focused on JJ than they are bringing in Rodgers.
Well, we're gonna see, but I still believe that the prophecy is gonna be fulfilled. Let me ask you this:
funny.
Has there been any reports about him taking a visit to Minnesota?
I don't think so.
Okay,
but I am hearing there are reports of him dragging out his decision until the draft, which is ridiculous.
What else is new?
Nah, he's a diva. But to me, I could see him going to the Giants.
Yeah, I can see it too.
I could see him going to the Giants. I could see the Giants and I could see Cleveland. But the only reason why I don't think he goes to Cleveland is because I think Cleveland signs Russ. And I think Cleveland does the most Cleveland thing humanly possible.
I'm hoping Russ does not go to Cleveland. I want him to stay in Pittsburgh.
I don't think it's happening.
I know because it's probably the contract issue.
Mm-hmm.
But look, you just signed DK. DK and Russ have a really good connection. So what?
What about Rodgers to the Steelers? I've been hearing stuff about that.
I've been hearing that too. I don't think it's gonna work, man.
Oh no, not with Tomlin.
No.
He has standing offers from the Giants and Steelers.
Okay. I think it'd be more Giants.
Maybe not, because outside of Neighbors, who do the Giants even have at receiver? Because they just
Slayton.
signed Darius Slayton for an absurd amount of money, even though he
can play. I think they got a tight end by the name of Theo Johnson.
I don't know enough about the Giants to know how many weapons they got outside of Neighbors, but to me,
we know that they still ain't got no run game. So
no, and I think that the Steelers make the most sense for me. Which I know, Jim, if you're listening, you're hating what I'm about to say. I think Rodgers goes to the Steelers because I think it makes the most sense.
I'm hoping he either stays in New York, just goes down to the different, goes to the other side, or he goes to Minnesota.
I think he goes to Pittsburgh, and that in turn would mean that the Giants are taking Shador.
I'm just hoping that Russ stays in Pittsburgh. I feel like it'll just be better for him.
Russ to Cleveland, Rodgers to Pittsburgh, Shador to the Giants.
Well, all right, we'll see.
That's what I'm calling. And Tet to the Jaguars at 5. The man ran a 4.48 today. Everybody quiet down.
I want to take territory.
I would love to have. I don't. I would love to have Tet in Jacksonville.
I would take territory.
Can you imagine Tet and BTJ?
Can you imagine? Like, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Just get somebody else.
We'll see, man.
I want the I want the big body. Yeah.
I hear you. Let's hit March Madness, man. We got to run
Let's
through
go.
this one real quick. It is finally March Madness time. Once again, if you were tuning into this live, we have a March Madness bracket. Find it on Twitter. It's for bragging rights. I don't have time to mess around with your money. So we're just doing bragging rights. This is our bracket, obviously, for March Madness.
The official March Madness bracket of the year. We know you can't see the bottom line because of the header, but still, y'all seen the bracket.
I'll take it down. But the point is, you have my Gators.
Congratulations
Auburn.
on winning the conference.
I appreciate it. Auburn, who we don't care about. Jake does, but rest of us don't. Auburn, Duke, and Houston.
Dog, what do you think about? First off, what do you think about all this talk about Cooper Flag, like not playing in the tournament?
He'll play.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a load of malarkey.
He wouldn't sit out of the ACC tournament if he wasn't trying to play
in the big
March Madness. There's no way. Question. There's no way. That's absurd.
Without question.
But which one seed do you think it's out first?
First off, I think the Duke bracket might be the most loaded, but I wouldn't say they get out first.
I think even without Cooper Flag, Duke is still an incredibly solid team, top to bottom. Because it's Duke.
To me, I think it could possibly be either Florida or it's going to be Auburn.
I think Houston.
Here's the reason why I don't say I can't say Houston is because how far, like Houston all the way to the Sweet 16. First off, they're gonna win they should win their first game against SIU Edwardsville. Then they'll play the winner of either Gonzaga or Georgia. Then after that, it's either Clemson, McNeese State, Purdue, and High Point. And Purdue has been cooling off a lot. Has been cooling off the last few games. We're not sure if they're going to get hot now, even though they have the capability to be able to compete against Houston. So I guess, but you're talking about the Sweet 16 at that point.
Purdue will make it out of the first round. I don't see them making it to the Sweet 16. I see them making it out of 32.
Now, here's where it could possibly get interesting. If you go over to Auburn side of the bracket, which is going to be on the south side, they will have to play the winner of Louisville or Creighton. They will beat Louisville, but if they face Creighton, Creighton can shoot. They have size, and that's all you need going against the Auburn team, because you look what Florida did when they went into the jungle. You look what we did when we went to the jungle. And
Auburn's going to will themselves through it. Here's why.
We sure about that? Because guess who else is on their side of the bracket?
I'll tell you. Okay. I think Houston doesn't make it past Gonzaga because Mark Few's team has now gone to 8 straight Sweet 16 bids.
Okay, I give you that.
That's where I think that's the only reason why I think if Gonzaga was not an 8 seed, Georgia's a 9. If Gonzaga was not an 8 seed and was on the other end of the bracket, maybe like a 7 seed or something, I think Houston would make it farther. But the fact that Houston has to face Gonzaga next, because I don't see Georgia beating Gonzaga. If Houston has to beat or face Gonzaga to get to the Sweet 16 with Mark Few being Mark Few, I don't see it happening. That's why I think Houston's the first one out. I think Duke makes it to the Final Four. I think Auburn gets knocked out in the Elite 8 by Michigan State.
Dog,
Michigan State's a deep team.
I gotta watch them a little bit more. I didn't have a chance to watch a lot of Michigan State this year, but I'm glad like Tom Izzo's back to
Tom's in his bag.
Thomas
in his bag.
But UConn and Florida has a chance to be really good in that second round game.
It will be, because Florida's not losing, and UConn I could see who does UConn have?
Oklahoma.
UConn's beating Oklahoma.
UConn they're beating
UConn's beating Oklahoma.
But dog, his thing, dude, Dan Hurley has earned his respect
for sure.
Even though regular season hasn't been that good, but it's March Madness. It's a new season now.
I understand, but
I know what y'all. I know. I've seen
aside,
it. We've played it. But if I had to if I got to look at anybody like in on that west side of the bracket, I can see UConn knocking them out.
if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be UConn. If we make it past UConn, we're going to the Natty. I'm sorry.
St. John's could probably make it. St. John's could
That-
possibly make a case.
I have here are this surprise. Here are my final four. I have Auburn and Michigan State. Sorry, my Elite Eight. I have Auburn, Michigan State. I have Florida and St. John's. I have Tennessee, and I have Gonzaga. And then I have Duke and Bama.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. So obviously, I haven't finished the rest of my bracket yet.
Mhm.
I won't be done with that until like our next episode on coming up on
I
Thursday.
did mine yesterday.
So like, no, I do at least about 10 brackets a year.
I rock
That
the same bracket.
I,
and I
I
rock
do
one bracket.
at least 10 brackets a year. So like, work with me. So
You gotta take your time. I do it
all
for
I
my
know,
own sanity.
I'm still watching. Look, I got 20. I got at least about 20 more teams that I got to watch film work and like write my notes on. So come Thursday, I'll have my answers, even though the tournament's gonna start by then. But at the same time, come Thursday, folks, come Thursday, y'all get to see one of my brackets because at that time, I've already been
I'll put
done
mine
with.
up too. I'll put mine out there too.
I'll be done probably. Cause I'm gonna have at least about 2 big time brackets because I'm trying to enter some of my brackets into the money leagues.
Oh, I did mine for the I did the women's bracket too. I got USC winning it all.
Yeah, I'm going UConn.
Okay. Hey, look, that's not a bad one either.
Okay, in one bracket, I'm gonna go UConn. The other one, I'm going South Carolina because
I got USC, South Carolina in the finals.
It's a dime.
So, but for sure. But to me, I think here's my question.
Thought of me.
What team do you what is your let's get into it right now. What is the best chance for an upset in round one?
To me, it's Troy versus Kentucky.
I get another SEC school, and I don't think
because Kentucky's not playing good basketball right now. They still have the capability. We already know what Big Blue Nation is gonna do wherever Kentucky goes, but if Lamont Butler's not healthy and if he's not able to play, I mean Jackson Robinson, he's still out. He's out for the season. Brea can still knock down the shots along with Alex Carr, but Troy's a tough bunch, man.
Troy's a tough bunch. Don't get me wrong.
Bunch. They could punch him in the mouth, and Kentucky could possibly get shook. Like this, is probably gonna be one of the. I understand this is like Pope's first year. But he could probably just take one of them L's on his chest, like on this one, and bounce back next year.
I think Kentucky sneaks through somehow. I think they sneak through the first round, but I don't see them making it past the second.
Yeah, I got like that's my biggest upset right now is Troy and Kentucky.
I might. It's another SEC school. Which before I get into this, Danny Cannell, shut up. We're talking about UNC making it in here because UNC didn't deserve to be in here. There's a reason there are 14 SEC teams in here because there are 14 SEC schools.
I really thought West Virginia or Indiana. I definitely felt like Indiana should have got in.
Indiana should have been in here. West Virginia, I could take your lead, but Indiana should have absolutely been in here. UNC,
South Alabama.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that should have been in here. But anyways, not the point. My biggest upset. Coming in the South. I have Yale beating A&M.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought you was gonna say Drake.
No, I got Yale beating A&M.
I can see it.
A&M is if A&M's hot, they're one of the best teams in the nation. But if A&M, the thing with Yale, they play smart, efficient basketball.
That's true. Because when I looked at their film, that's what they were. They were very
good
efficient
defense, and they crashed the boards. And
however, they are undersized, even though they do crash the board, but they are heavily undersized.
Little undersized, but if they can, and I think they defend the three pretty well too, if I remember correctly.
Decently.
But
because Cornell was able to knock down at least about 8-9 threes in the championship game, so like they can't be had.
They can't, yeah. But I think Yale can beat A&M, and I think Yale can make a little run. Because I think Yale can beat A&M, and I think Yale can beat Michigan, man. I think Yale can make a little push. I think Yale could make. I
Michigan,
think Yale
look,
can make a little push.
Michigan's not a great 3 point. Michigan's not a great 3 point shooting team, but you got two 7 footers in there. One of them's a really good playmaker, and like they don't have tremendous guard play, but they got guards that's gonna be able to make enough plays to win the games.
Yale.
I don't see Yale getting past Michigan. No.
The reason why I think so, I think this is another situation with what was it? Was it Oakland last year?
Yeah.
That yeah, I think this is. I think Yale's this year's Oakland because I think what happens is this is going to be a situation.
Yale was Yale last year because remember they knocked out Auburn in the first round and
I
they've been the butting end of a joke.
I think Yale can surprise some people again. They are very quietly, and I think they also succeed where Michigan is vulnerable,
I can see that.
which is why I think Yale makes a push. I also think Yale leaves it out all onto the floor versus Michigan, and I think Auburn whoops them because I think Auburn's going to. I think Louisville's going to find a way to beat Creighton. I think Auburn could definitely beat Louisville, but I don't think Auburn makes it to the Final Four. I think Michigan State does.
I don't see that neither.
And that's not the Gator in me, and that's not the Bama in you. That is
No, that's the Bama in me. Without question. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the Bama in me. I ain't gonna sit over here and lie.
hey, I'll face
That's
Auburn
the
again.
Bama in me.
I don't think Auburn's going to make it, but I will absolutely take Florida
Like
facing
I
Auburn
will
again
like
because we'll
I'm
beat
not
them
gonna
again.
hesitate. I'm not gonna hesitate and lie. Like that is the Bama in me. Like why would no?
I genuinely think Yale's going to surprise him. Yale is my shocker this year in the bracket. I think Gonzaga makes a push too, solely based on the fact that they're a concise, solid team.
My deep run team, I would say BYU. They got enough length and anchors to be able to help them out.
I got
They
VCU
have
beating BYU.
I just finished watching them not too long ago. They got enough shooters on their team where they can make some plays. They have good guard play. They can shoot, and they got enough height to be able to make something work.
I got VCU
Um,
beating them.
nah, I got BYU.
I
I
got
haven't.
Arkansas beating Kansas too.
I do too, because
Mm-hmm.
Kansas is not having the
Kansas is not
best.
that good.
Kansas is not that good this year.
No, they're streaky.
But like Arkansas, they're getting Boogie Flan back, so maybe John Calipari goes on a run. Cause I already know he beat Kentucky this year when they returned back to Rupp.
Mm-hmm.
But so if he's able to go deeper than Kentucky,
Calipari versus Patino in the round of 32 is going to be fun to watch.
I got another upset for you.
What's up?
Wofford,
Over?
Tennessee.
Absolutely not.
I said I got it. I'm not gonna say it's a
Absolutely
guarantee,
not.
bro,
Absolutely not.
bro, bro,
Absolutely not.
bro. Wofford can shoot, dog.
I got VCU beating BYU, and I got Vandy winning too. I got Vandy beating St. Mary's.
I can see that. I still gotta watch more. I gotta watch more St. Mary's to get a good feel. But I do see Coach Byington. I do see Coach
Mm-hmm.
Byington getting past on St. Mary's and
The
seeing Bama.
turnaround on that Vandy team has been incredible this year.
Hey, shout out to Coach Byington, former Georgia Southern head coach.
Incredible turnaround. I'd love to see it. I got Utah State winning too, if we're being honest.
Oof, man. Okay, what chance do you get McNeese State? What chance do you got McNeese versus Clemson? Because like we're getting that world famous student manager, the one that be carrying the boombox around from McNeese State.
I got Clemson beating them. If Clemson doesn't have the shutdown they had in the second half, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
I think Clemson's a good team this year. I got them beating Purdue too, and then I got Purdue beating High Point. I got Clemson beating McNeese, and I got Clemson beating Purdue, and then I got Gonzaga beating Clemson.
yes,
I have Gonzaga in the Elite Eight, and I might get clowned for it. I don't care. Every year, there's always a seed under 10 that makes it to the Elite Eight, and that's who I think it's going to be this year. And then I got Tennessee beating them.
I will say this. So sorry about your Gators in baseball getting swept by Tennessee like
I'll
that.
be fine.
Yeah, we'll
We'll be
see.
fine.
Also, I saw this tweet of the 2019 LSU football team is making up to $666 million right now, after the Jamar Chase deal, T Higgins
Hmm.
deal, and Derek Stingley deal. So shout out to them Tigers. That's about the only shout
Hey,
out
good
you're
for
gonna get
them.
from me.
Good for them. I mean, hey, everybody make $1 million, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So, all right,
Yeah.
man, you got anything else you want to get into before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm good
We got a
because I
short
gotta
one
go.
today. We're going to try to sneak in another one later this week just to kind of get get something in right before March Madness. So,
Yep.
if you like the show, let us know. Rate 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen to. We're on every single one of them. I'll have a new camera by the next time we record. If you're watching this live or watching this back on YouTube. If you're not and you're listening to this in a podcast, guess what? We go live on YouTube. You can follow us on YouTube at Two Deuces Sports News or TDSN Pod. I don't remember the name of it. So you type in Two Deuces Sports News. We're the only one out there. It's going to be fine. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at TDSN Pod. Again, we're the only ones out there. You're going to be fine. If we're not on the podcast platform that you prefer us or prefer to listen to us on, hit us up on Twitter, comment on the page or whatever, and let us know. We'll find a way to get on there. It's not, we'll make it work. We're here for you guys. If you like the show, rate 5 stars on whatever platform you listen to. If you didn't like the show, treat it like a bad date. It's not us, it's you. It's not you, it's us. You go one way, we'll pick up the tab for the 40 minutes of content we just gave you. And it's fine. No reason to bash, no reason to negatively review. We'll leave it as it is. And we thank you for giving us a shot. If you rate 5 stars and retweet the show, you get a shout out. Shout out's going to come at the end of the show. There are also going to be shows that we think you'll like if you like ours as well. I'm trying to get this interview down. It's been almost 110 episodes, and eventually I'll get this down or get this nice and concise. So shout out to me in the show. Shout out Jim over Fan of the Van. Him and I do a show called Steel and Two. Go check that one out as well, especially if the Steelers sign Rodgers, because that crash up from Jim is just going to be absolutely fantastic. Brandon for 1420 Sports, Aaron to Brutally Honest, Darian for Chill Takes, IAP Radio. Go check out Average of Sports. Him and E-Man and Jim do a show called Cigar and Sports. It's finally back. Always go check out Sports After Dark. Heavy, you invited me for the Steelers, good Lord, Lakers, Celtics watch. I can't talk today. You invited me for the Celtics Lakers watch. I completely forgot. That's on me. I'm sorry. We talked about it. I will be there for the next one. Go check out the Stupid History Minute. And if you're a wrestling fan, casual, hardcore, whichever, it doesn't matter. Go check out John, the Wrestling Fan Insight. If you're gambling, whether it be on March Madness or football or whatever, first of all, don't bet the rent. Don't bet the mortgage. Gamble responsibly and go listen to Nate's Daily Wager. If I missed you, we love you. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.